We're back with Stanford Carr, president of Stanford Carr Development. How did you make your transition from your flooring business to now development?
I had befriended a Boston group that was involved in a hotel acquisition and renovation on Kauai, and I was actually the flooring subcontractor. And the principal there was quite impressed with the people who I knew amongst, all the neighbor islands, since we did work on all the islands at the time. And I was very interested in real estate. I would ask a lot of questions. When I had first met Jim Schuler back in 1984 when he first ventured back to Hawaii with his development called the Villages at Waipio in Waipio. And we were the flooring subcontractor to Hawaiian Dredging at the time. And I remember asking, who's that guy? And this is Jim Schuler, he's the developer. And I'd say, I want his job, But, leading on to that, having met this Boston-based group, they gave me an opportunity to work on rezoning some property on Kauai. And I took on that endeavor with former planning director Avery Yoon, who's a practicing architect today and a friend of mine for over 20 years. And just started learning how to rezone property, understanding the laws of land use laws and entitlements and what you can build, and just an incredible hungry or appetite for knowledge. And so I would take seminars. I'd go to the mainland for equity financing, debt financing seminars, visit various communities there. I had in the interim met an architect, Ernie Vasquez. This is back in 1988 now, that invited me to Orange County, and I saw that Irvine was probably one of the most competitive housing communities in the country, and often wondered, why do we not have these design site plan concepts and visual amenities of mini parks, pedestrian bikeways, and a diversity of housing opportunities suited to different income brackets and lifestyles, and took those concepts, bringing it back to Hawaii to create and modifying it to our lifestyle and our environment to produce housing here, something that we should have. I mean, why didn't we have it? And that was, it's been an inspiration. We love what we do.
Can you tell us about some of the hard times that you had to go through in order to get to where you're at today?
Yes, and I think those hard times has been, looking back, I'm glad I stared adversity in the face, and it was through those journeys of difficulties that have made myself a stronger, more tenacious person, but also wiser. From the beginning of, well, it goes back to the bust of the Japan economy in 1990 and the subsequent Desert Storm in 91, our economy started to deteriorate, and people didn't realize this by 92 or 93. There were just subtle deficiencies or decreases or erosion, I would say, of our economic indexes, job losses, layoffs, and soon by the mid-90s, people couldn't hang on, and there was an actual out-migration, people moving out of Hawaii. So people weren't buying homes. And we went from selling and building as much as 20 homes a month in the early 90s, such as 93, to by the time 1995 came along, we were fortunate to sell one house a week. I mean, it was like if you sold a house during a week, it was bust out the champagne, but we could only afford Coors Light, But what it taught us during those period of times is that you can't have your eggs in one basket, because at the same time in 95 we saw the mainland economy, they started seeing their recovery. They bottomed out in 1995. I'm speaking particularly of the California market, Irvine, which I would go year to year to see what else they were doing, and so I saw that their economy was getting better, and started really studying our resort market. As a result of their economic recovery, people started slowly, subtly coming to Hawaii to buy second homes, and so that gave us or led us to study the resort market. And we entered the resort market, got a little taste of it in 1995, but felt that the market wasn't quite ready yet. Worked with a Japan resort company there, Shinwa and Wailea Resort, and so they gave us an opportunity to buy a parcel around 1996. But in order to manage our risk, they allowed us to buy it only after we've gotten our discretionary approvals, which is our SMA permit, which you need to obtain from the Planning Commission, that we completed the drawings and put it out to bid so that we know what our guaranteed maximum contract price was going to be. And only then did we have to actually pay for the property. And based on pre-sales, we broke ground, and it was a very successful project in Wailea. It was the first project built in Wailea in about 7 years. And that is one of the exemplifications of diversifying your portfolio and your development opportunities. And that led to look at buying income properties, commercial, light industrial.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more on Greater Good Radio.